light of the one. I open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening. I open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening. I open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening. I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening.
Thank you, Reverend Rich Volk. He will be back to grace us with more of his beautiful music throughout the service. But so from this place of opening, let's know the truth. So right here, right now, in this moment, I am open to the influx of spirit that is ever available to me. There is no place where God is not. Spirit is ever present in each of us and in each moment. And so today I open myself to doubt as a doorway, to the idea that I can expand my consciousness and grow myself by embracing doubt instead of shying away from it. We know that as a spiritual community, we are here to support, empower, and uplift one another on our journey of faith. And so I simply affirm that we do that today. That every moment is one of growth, is one of deepening, is one of experiential good. That God, Spirit, Source, whatever you call it, is ever expressing to us in greater and greater ways, and that we are willing to do the work, to walk through the doorway of doubt, to deepen that experience. And how blessed and grateful are we to have a community where we get to do that, to be together as we walk through that doorway and face our doubts with curiosity, with awareness, and with a willingness to grow. And so I am grateful for this beautiful community, for this beautiful teaching, for the connection that we each have with one another and with Source. I am grateful for the blessing that is life itself. And so with deep gratitude and grace and expectation of good and greater good, I simply release this word into law, into that ever-present and loving law that does unto us as we believe. And as I know that we all believe in the power of the word, in the power of prayer, in the power of love, and in the power we have when we are gathered here together, I simply let it go. And together we say, and so it is. Well, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Morristown, a vibrant community where love, joy, and inclusivity are at the heart of everything we do. Here we honor the unique journey of every soul, offering a place of healing, growth, and celebration. My name is Lori Carlson, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at CSLM. Thank you for joining us, whether you're here in person or watching the live stream or watching the replay at a later time. We are happy that you are a part of this journey of shared wisdom, light, and transformation. If this is your first time with us, and I don't see any first-timers here, but you do get a free book. If you want to come for your first time, you get a free book. And we invite everyone to be a part of our Constant Contact newsletter by signing up in the back if you don't already get it. Also, you can visit our website, which is cslmorristown.org. Like I said, very happy to welcome back our musician, Reverend Rich Volk, and always a thrill to have him here. I love to go visit and speak in Princeton when I get to work with him there too sometimes. So the 2026 CSL theme, one of my favorites, is open at the top, right? And the monthly theme for May is Divine Doubt. And my topic for today is doubt as a doorway, just in case you didn't get that from the opening spiritual mind treatment. But we are going to start the way we start every service with our Namaste practice. So I invite you to put your hands together in front of your heart and to recognize that the word Namaste means the divinity within me welcomes and honors the divinity within you. And so I invite you to turn to someone near you and say, Namaste. Does everybody feel seen and recognized and honored? All right, well now we're going to have another song with Reverend Rich, and I believe you can sing along a little.
Probably heard this tune before. Love is but a song we sing, feels the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Know that love is on the wing, you need not know why. Come on, people now, find a brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Some will come and some will go, we shall surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on the brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. One more. Come on, people now, smile on the brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you must understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just for a key unlocks them both, it's there at your command. Come on, people now, follow the brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, follow the brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. One more. Hear it.
Love one another right now. So how many have doubts in their ability to sing? So today I'm going to be talking to you about doubts as a doorway, as a way of finding growth in those doubts and in acknowledging them. I think doubt is a very natural thing, right? Anybody here not have any doubts in themselves or in anything that's going on, right? We doubt our choices. We doubt whether we're doing enough. We doubt whether we can sing. We doubt how we show up in relationships. We doubt whether we're lovable, capable, wise enough, spiritual enough. And hopefully, if you're on a spiritual journey, which we all are, we come to the point where we learn to doubt the stories we tell ourselves. Because that's one of the ways that doubt is the most growth encouraging, right? When we stop listening to those old stories. And I know that a lot of people think of doubt as the opposite of faith, as the enemy of faith. But actually, doubt can be something that grows your faith. Because just by acknowledging your doubts, you are already being aware and bringing your consciousness to what you believe. You're not just la 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 walking through. By having a doubt, you are bringing awareness to that. And that is something that can deepen and grow your experience. Now, I know in spiritual communities, a lot of us feel embarrassed to have doubts, right? We think it's something to hide. We think we should have it all figured out. We think everybody else got the manual but us, right? We think that there's a way to do things and we're out of sync with that. And all of that doubt can sometimes make us feel less than equal, less than good, right? And it can also make you feel like you're the only one with those doubts because it seems like everybody else has it together. But guess what? I don't think that's true. In fact, I know that's not true. I know that most people are carrying questions that they're afraid to voice. I know that most people look more certain than they feel. I know it's certainly true of me, right? I'm up here speaking to you, and let me tell you, every time I come up here, there's that voice in the back of my head telling me that this isn't, oh, Lori, this isn't going to be as good as the last one. Oh, Lori, did you prepare enough? Oh, Lori, what if you don't hear spirit? What if you screw it up? What if? Like, it's like constantly going in the back of my head, right? But I step out anyway. I step into it anyway. I know I have shared here before that I call that voice in the back of my head Bertha, right? But that voice, today I say, okay, Bertha, haha, I hear you. But what is that coming from? Today I'm willing to investigate why I feel that way or what is underneath that feeling rather than just suppress it or damp it down or deny it. I am willing to grow from it. And I don't let it stop me. I'm still up here, right? And I'm still up here behind the podium. I'm trying to stay behind the podium today. And so, I don't know, I think I've shared this, but this is kind of triggering for me. This is an opportunity for me to grow and embrace a new way of being because I doubt my authority to be behind a podium. I grew up, like in the Catholic Church, and the podium was like this, place of authority and, sacredness. And I, sometimes still have those doubts about myself. I don't have a college degree. I'm not a minister. Who am I to be up here behind the podium speaking to you? When I'm out here, it's a little easier for me. I feel a little bit more like me. But I'm not saying I'm going to stay here the whole time. But I am willing to embrace the doubt that brings up in me. And instead of cowering from it, I'm trying something new. I'm trying something that's for me a little courageous. It might seem like not, but for me it is. Because courage is not having no doubt. Courage is moving even with the doubt, right? Courage is being willing to see your doubts as an opportunity to grow. And I know I shared about this when I was talking about motherhood last week, about how everything is an opportunity to grow, right? Even all those AFGOs, we all know what that means, right? You're not going to make me say it. Another effing growth opportunity, right? So all of those moments of doubt are possibilities for you to consider something different. In Science of Mind, we teach that life responds to consciousness, right? Ernest Holmes tells us that we live in a responsive universe, a creative intelligence that receives the impress of our thoughts. So yes, if you constantly live in fear and limitation and doubt, you may get more fear and limitation and doubt. But if you are willing to look at that, not dismiss it, not spiritually bypass it, not pretend it's not there, but say, oh, God, I feel fear. What is that about? Or, oh, I have a doubt about this. Interesting. Awareness, an opportunity to dig deeper, an opportunity to look beneath the surface. Because this teaching is not about pretending we don't have doubts. This teaching is about being real, right? Even when we do affirmations, we're not doing it from a place of denying the possibility. We're doing it from a place of changing the way we think about it and affirming what we want and what we desire, knowing that the universe is always happening for us and not to us. So knowing from that place of deep belief that what we envision for ourselves is possible. But that doesn't happen from just like pretending they're not there. That happens from acknowledging them, from being willing to grow from them, from finding doubt as an opportunity for a deeper awareness. And I believe that doubt is also a way that you find some humility. And I don't mean humiliation. I don't mean thinking less of yourself. In AA, I love this saying. We say that humility doesn't mean thinking less of yourself. It means thinking of yourself less. So it means being other-focused in a way that is about serving and giving, right? But we also talk in AA about being right-sized. So that means like really embracing who you are. And awareness matters in that. If you are thinking of yourself less, what do you have to bring, right? We need to be willing to face our doubts from a place of self-confident doubt. I mean, does that sound weird? Like having confidence in our ability to see and to grow and to understand. I love this. Anne Lamott says, the opposite of faith is not doubt, but certainty. Because when you're certain, you're not creating any room to grow. Doubt asks questions. Doubt opens doors. Doubt shows you new ways of looking at things. Doubt invites curiosity. Curiosity is really the healthy side of doubt, right? When you have a doubt, then you get and you can bring curiosity to it, then you can expand and grow. Do we have any Ted Lasso fans in the audience? Well, I love that scene with Ted Lasso where he's playing darts with the owner of the team, right? And he wins, but he says, be curious, not judgmental. He attributes it to Walt Whitman. I'm not really sure it's Walt Whitman, but the idea of being curious rather than judgmental is at the very heart of this teaching. Being open at the top, right? It means opening up to curiosity. And sometimes you need to let go of judgment to do that. And when we're really open to our feelings and willing to embrace our doubts and walk through, well, that kind of openness is sacred. That kind of openness is just an opportunity to deepen our faith. And sometimes I find that it really depends on the language that you give it, right? Like curiosity rather than judgmental. Or instead of calling it doubt, maybe you reframe it for yourself. If doubt feels like difficult for you, reframe it as curiosity. You know, I always like to point out to my sponsees, because we do a fear inventory, that fear and doubt and insecurity and all those things come up in the body the same way that excitement does, right? That nervousness, that racing heart, that jittery feeling. So you can often shift your perspective and say, oh, I'm excited about what I don't understand, because now I know I can learn something more. Or you can sit in fear and say, oh, I want everything to be certain. I don't want to be unsure about this. I don't want to appear as vulnerable. I want to pretend that I know it all. I'm going to stay certain in what I know, and I'm not going to leave the opportunity for a different experience. And so that can be one way of approaching life, but it's not the way of the spiritual journey. It's not the way to growth. Because faith is not pretending we don't have questions and doubts. Faith is trusting that truth can withstand our questions and doubts. That there's always another layer of the onion to peel, like I mentioned last week. So, you know, I'm always talking about Science of Mind magazine. How many have theirs? How many read this month? There's a beautiful article called Doubt as Devotion. And it quotes Paul Tillich, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Christian theologian and philosopher. And he says, doubt is not a permanent experience within the act of faith, but it is always present as an element in the structure of faith. If doubt appears, it should not be considered a negation of faith, but an element always present. So, I just love that, because it becomes an opportunity to embrace it, right? One does not negate the other. It's actually a way to deepen it. So what is the work? The work becomes, how do we incorporate our doubts into our journey in a way that grows us? Well, we acknowledge them. We don't hide them. We don't, resist them. We don't try to, deny them or suppress them. We actually accept them. And we are willing to walk through the door anyway, right? Carrying it with us, not as a burden, but as a possibility, right? And that's one of those things I said about language, about choosing. You get to reframe. Oh, I really doubt that's true. Well, now I'm curious. Now I can do research. Now I can sit in meditation. Now I can talk to a prayer partner. Now I can go to a practitioner. All of the many ways that I can address the fact that I'm not quite sure I'm good with that. Rather than just going, okay, and that blind faith that isn't really faith, it's just blinding yourself to reality, right? And I know that in this day and age in which we live, it's really hard to stay in the teaching, to stay in what we believe, because we look around us and we're like, oh my God, there's a lot of things to doubt. There's a lot of ways to question what is happening and what is ours to do. But I want to say that it is not a negation of your faith. It is not that you don't believe in the teaching. It's an opportunity to step into it. It's an opportunity to investigate. It's an opportunity to show up more authentically. It's an opportunity to be love in action, right? That's who we want to be. So every time that you have a doubt around the circumstances around you, lean in. Lean in with curiosity. Dig a little deeper, right? What is it that makes me uncomfortable up here? Okay, I can either just not do it, or I can lean in and do some investigative work. Do some of that inner work. What's Lori's mantra? Daily practices, right? So I can add a daily practice that's maybe about journaling where I'm feeling down. What is this bringing up for me? You can add a daily practice about spending some time with the question, whatever the question is. Not needing to find an answer, not having to like search and Google it, but maybe just sitting with it and allowing yourself to see what comes forth. Because we know in this teaching that spirit is ever available to us and exists within each of us. But you have to choose, my other favorite word, to take the time to sit with it. You have to choose to listen. You have to choose to step through that doorway of doubt and be willing to investigate what it has to teach you. And you know, this is not something that just happens individually. This is something that can happen collectively because we are a community that has this teaching and has this belief. And we know that we are all one mind, right? So we can help each other. Like I spoke last week about the mothership, right? Where we can all mother each other. We can also help each other to step through the doorway of doubt. What would happen if this became a safe place, and it is actually, but became more of a safe place for us to bring up our doubts? What if we were willing to admit to each other, I don't know, I just don't know. I'm willing to learn, I want to look at that, but you know, I'm not sure I believe what she's saying. I'm not sure that resonates with me. What if we could not encourage each other to still tell ourselves the same old stories, not to go on and on about what, you know, what has happened to us, but to embrace the possibility that this idea that is not quite hitting home with me, maybe you can help me. Maybe if I tell you, maybe if we talk about it, maybe if we go to the discussion group in a couple weeks, we can bring up those things that we struggle with, and we can help each other through it, to have a different perspective, to hear what someone else has to say. Let me tell you, most of the things that have been the most transformative in my life have been, and I'm grateful for AA, but have been through those times when I have admitted my doubts and fears to another. When I have spoken to my sponsor, to a minister, to a practitioner, to a friend, even to spirit out loud. When I am willing to admit my doubts and fears, guess what? Something always shifts for me. And I know I'm using the word always, but in my experience, something always has shifted for me. I have never stayed in the same place when I'm willing, when I take that chance to admit and to be honest about how I feel, right? And so we can do that for one another. Instead of being ashamed or judgmental of ourselves, we can step forth and be willing and open and invite a different level of spiritual maturity, because that's what it is. We can help each other in that. And then we begin to realize that we are not experiencing life or experiencing doubt individually, but we are all co-creating the world in which we live. So how can we help each other to do that? Because those very doubts can help strengthen our compassion when they're voiced, right? I know for me that when I say it out loud and I hear it myself say it, it takes some of the onerousness about it away. It lessens its impact every time. And sometimes I know maybe I just need to hear myself say it, but when you share it with someone else, another great thing we say in AA is a problem shared is a problem halved, and a joy shared is a joy multiplied. Well, we know that in this community too. So we can help each other to face our doubts and to come through stronger for them. Because transformation is not something we just hope for, and it's not something we need to do on our own. The spiritual journey is meant to be one of community. It is meant, it's an inner journey, but we are supported by one another. That's why we're in a community, to support one another on our own unique individual journey. Not because we need to do it all by ourselves, but because we are one with an infinite power and presence, right? And part of that being willing to to engage and embrace our doubts is because that spirit, that one mind, is infinite, and we can never know it all, right? We can never know it all, but it takes a willingness to see that. And you know, I love the Buddhist Zen saying that about beginner's mind, right? Hold on, where is it? Beginner's mind is, in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the experts, there are few. And that is so true, right? Because when you keep open at the top, when you stay willing to learn, when you don't have to pretend that you've got it all figured out, when you're willing to step into it, the possibilities are endless. Because there's always another vista, there's always another point of view, there's always something else possible. But it takes that beginner's mind, it takes letting go of certainty. Because certainty doesn't exist in this world, in my opinion, but certainty also gives no room for growth. I absolutely love this quote. I don't even remember where I got it from, but it's from Frederick Buechner. I don't even know who that is, but it says, "Doubts are the ants in the pants of faith." They keep it awake and moving. I just love that, right? It's like lightens the whole thing up, and guess what? It's so true. Because when you're squirming and uncomfortable, it's motivating you to do something different. It motivates you to make a change. It motivates you to look at what you believe. If you're not comfortable with it, I know when I'm not comfortable, it makes me do something, right? When you are comfortable, you are static. Growth and change do not happen when there's not a little bit of uncomfortability, right? I mean, we all like to be comfortable, but we can also stagnate there. So when you are uncomfortable and you feel those ants in your pants, it's an invitation to dive deeper, to do the work, right? To get those ants out of your pants by doing practices, by stepping in, by allowing a greater revelation. So, I'm going to tell you, so, you know, it's always coming back to me, right? So, I know something about this, about the deepening of faith. You can ask any of my prayer partners that I always, almost always, and I hate that I'm using the word always, but almost always, my request for prayer is a deepening of my practitioner consciousness in every aspect of my life. No matter what's going on in my world, that's almost always, right, my prayer request. And why is that? It's not because I don't have a practitioner consciousness. It's not because I don't have faith. It's because I do. And because I recognize that there is always somewhere deeper to go with it. Because I recognize that, in the words of the Bible, "Lord, I believe, help thou my unbelief." Right? So by my saying that, I am affirming my willingness to step into doubt. I am affirming my willingness to deepen my consciousness. And that, for me, is the spiritual journey. I'm going to share another little story for you about doubt. So this past few days, some of you are very well aware, but I had a lot of grief came up for me, and I was really sitting with this experience of grief. It was my dad's birthday, and I had just led a meditation at the jail about motorcycles. Go figure why I didn't end up in grief, and I just came out of that, and I was just overwhelmed with grief. And so the interesting thing is not the grief. I understood where it came from. I understand why I have it. But the interesting thing for me was that what it brought up was doubt. It brought up doubt in myself. I started saying to myself, well, if you had really loved enough, would you have days of joy? Like, I don't live there. I had this, waves of grief, but I don't live there. I live most days in joy. I live most days with purpose. I live most days in, complete grace and acceptance, and I am blessed. But part of me started saying, Lori, if you had really loved, wouldn't you still be feeling this every moment of every day? Like, how do you laugh? How do you have fun? How do you show up? And I know that that's not the way it's meant to work. I know that grief comes and goes in waves. I know all that intellectually and spiritually. But isn't it interesting that it brought up doubt? Isn't it interesting that that kind of emotion could bring up doubt? And guess what? Guess what I did with that? I journaled about it. I prayed about it. I talked about it. I shared about it. So that it didn't just stay an emotion or a wave of emotion. It brought me into another doorway. And I didn't push it away. I stepped through. And guess what I discovered? I discovered that the ability to not stay in grief every moment of every day is the spiritual growth I've experienced. Because I used to be a victim. Back in my days, it was like, oh, this would just be a good story to be a victim and play, poor me, right? But I don't do that anymore. Yes, I feel my feelings, but I step through them. And I welcome them as an opportunity to grow. I do more prayer. I do more service. I speak to people. I open my heart. And I see those doubts as just a way of growth rather than as a reflection of something I'm not, right? Because all of these things that I do, they don't erase the grief, but they do help me hold it. They do help me step into it. And so it also taught me to lean into my authenticity and to not worry so much about what other people think or what I look like or whether I have it all together as a practitioner. Let me tell you, there was all that doubt going too. Lori, you should know better. Lori, how can you admit this? You're a practitioner, how can you, right? That voice. But guess what? I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it with all of you, and I'm stepping through into that oneness, into that truth, into that doorway that doubt can become. So I think we can all step through that doorway into deeper faith together. And we can embrace those ants in our pants and see what it's there to teach us and take an action. Because a real, true faith is one that's willing to say, I don't know, but I'm willing to learn. I don't have the answer, but I'm looking for it. I may never have it, but that's okay too, because I'm going to continue to look. So I'd like to end with this famous Zen saying, great doubt, great awakening. Little doubt, little awakening. No doubt, no awakening. So, we're going to have Reverend Rich back up here to lead us in to play another beautiful song for us, and then I will be back to lead us in a little meditation about opening the doorway to our doubts.
Wow. I have no doubt. I have no doubt that I'm really glad to be here. I'm always glad to come here. And I'm always glad to hear Laurie speak. All that energy. We don't need a PA system here. We have the energy. So, we don't need that either. All right, ultimate truth. I've been walking down these streets, searching for the night, and looking for what's real, searching for what's right. All these outside voices calling, selling all the dreams. I know deep down inside there's a fiery voice that screams. Oh, I hear it in the wind, I feel it in my bones. A whisper in my heart says, already home. Oh, the truth don't ever waver, the truth don't ever lie. The love's so deep, it can never die. Through the darkest valley, through the pouring rain, the light of the Spirit's gonna call my name. Ancient teachers say the power's in me, not in the struggles, not in what I see. The mind is a doorway, love is the key. Everything I'm chasing is already free. Oh, I hear it in the wind, feel it in my bones. A whisper in my heart says, I'm already home. Oh, truth don't ever waver, the truth don't ever lie. The love's so deep, it can never die. Through the darkest valley, through the pouring rain, the light of the Spirit's gonna call my name. The light of the Spirit's gonna call my name. No more fear, no more doubt. I'm stepping out into the puppy night. It ain't broken, I ain't lost. I'm the one with the peace. No matter what the cost. Oh, I hear it in the wind, feel it in my bones. A whisper in my heart says, I'm already home. Oh, the truth don't ever waver, the truth don't ever lie. The love's so deep, it can never die. Through the darkest valley, through the pouring rain, the light of the Spirit's gonna call my name. The light of the Spirit's gonna call my name. The light of the Spirit's gonna call my name.
For today. Thank you so much. So now, if you wouldn't mind strumming along behind the meditation, really, that would be wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to invite you to join me in a meditation about doubt as a doorway. So let's just take a moment, settle into your chair, feel your body, maybe feel your feet on the ground. Allow your body to just arrive in this present moment. Take a breath. Feel your breath moving in its own natural rhythm. Just arrive. Nothing to change, just this moment. Just take one deep breath in and exhale it out with a sigh, everyone. Okay. So from this open place, from this open heart, I invite you to notice something. Notice a doubt you may have. Maybe it's something you need to solve, or something you've been carrying for a while. It doesn't have to be big. It might be about yourself, about your path, about your relationship, about your spiritual life. Just a quiet question that has been sitting in the background of your mind. Whatever it is, just let it be there. You all got one? Now, no judgment, no analysis, just awareness. And as you notice it, as it arises up in your mind, simply say to yourself, or say to it, I see you. I see you. I'm not going to push you away. not going to try to fix it right now. I'm just acknowledging it. And now, very gently, I want to invite you to have a different kind of listening. So instead of asking yourself, what do I need to do to get rid of this or fix this? Ask this doubt or this feeling, what are you trying to show me? Just take a couple breaths there and listen. What are you trying to show me? Not necessarily expecting an answer, just letting the question open something inside you. And then bring your awareness back to your body for a minute and just notice, where do I feel this doubt in my body? Is there a tightness somewhere? A heaviness? A flutter maybe? A space that feels uncertain? Just notice. And if it feels right, maybe place a hand over that area and silently say, I am willing to listen. Not fix, not force, just listen. Take a slightly slower breath in and a slower breath out. Letting your body know it is safe to soften, even just a little. Because in this practice, we're not trying to eliminate doubt or even to fix it. We are simply practicing how to turn towards it instead of away from it. Because when we do that, doubt can begin to loosen its grip. When it is met with awareness, it can become that doorway. So just be curious. Be willing. Be teachable. Be available to something deeper, to peeling that layer of the onion. And then silently say to yourself, I am open to what I do not yet see. Take another breath. And feel this possibility. You are not required to be certain. You are not required to have the answers. You are not required to be without doubt. You are simply required to be open, to be willing, to be present. And from that place, we can step through the doorway together. So when you're ready, you can gently and slowly bring your awareness back into the room. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes. And just remember that doubt can become the doorway into your deepest truth. Okay. Now, announcements. Oh, no, sorry. First, it's our offering. So, There's little doubt in our financial abilities, right? Who doubts their finances from time to time? Well, we know in this teaching that the law of circulation says, as you give, you receive. And so this is our opportunity to give to the center that fills our souls, to that place that supports us and empowers us. So I'm going to pass the basket. You can put money in the basket or fill out an envelope. There's also Venmo and PayPal. There's text to give. There's a donate button on our website, which is my favorite. So there are many ways to give. You can give by sponsoring a social hour. You can give by showing up for our events. You can give by bringing friends and family to our center and growing our community. There are lots of ways to give, but whatever way you give from that heart of joy and gratitude for all of the gifts that this community brings to us, right? We're walking through the doorway of doubt, but I don't want you to have any doubt about the power of your gift when you give from a heart of love. So just repeat this affirmation after me. I give this gift. I give abundantly and joyfully. I know that my gift goes forth to create greater good and comes back to me multiplied abundantly in blessings and community. And so it is. Okay, so we have some announcements. Okay, so the marketing action for May is to please leave a Google review for the center. There's instructions in the back. Let's get our word out. We are having a table at Brookfest, a festival of music, arts, and crafts happening right across the street there. So kindly bring in any books you no longer want, drop them off in the box, and then come 5:30 to the event where we'll have a table and it will be lots of fun. Okay, so we have our next discussion group coming up on May 31st, which we facilitated by moi. It'll be an opportunity to look at our doubts, right? And to help one another through them. So I invite you to come for that. We have another sound journey with the amazing Kat Roman coming up on Sunday, June 7th. So there are flyers in the back. You can sign up on Breeze. There's a QR code. You do not want to miss this. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm going to miss it, but I'm going to be at my niece's baby shower. So good reason to miss. But please, you do not want to miss that. It's an awesome experience. Also, thank you, Kathy. We are having a concert on June 28th. Day after my birthday. We are having a beautiful concert with Ed, I'm never going to say this right, good luck. Ed Swarzinski, yeah, and friends, the same one who was here last year. They're going to come back. It's going to be a party featuring, it's going to be after our barbecue, right? So that Sunday, I'm speaking after just coming back from Bermuda. It's a celebration of our 1 year being downstairs. So we're going to have a barbecue and then there's a concert. So it's a full day. So mark your calendars. June 28th. Okay. Also, like I quoted from in my talk, the Science of Mind magazines are back there. You don't want to miss this one. It's $11.95 for the double issue. And like I always say, if you buy one and it doesn't serve you, I will personally refund your money because I totally believe in it. Okay, so with all of that being said, I'm going to do a closing treatment and then Rich is going to grace us with another song. So I invite you all to close your eyes if you are comfortable doing so and to hear these words as if they were your own because they kind of are. We are one in one mind. And so right here, right now, I embrace the truth of what I believe. I step into this oneness, into this acknowledgement of the ever-present power of the divine that exists in, as, and through each of us. And I embrace the opportunity to deepen that connection by looking clearly with awareness at the places where I have doubts. I step through the doorway of those doubts in fellowship with a community of like-minded individuals who believe what I believe and who are all looking to deepen their consciousness and that connection with the One. And how blessed and grateful are we to have one another, to have this teaching that tells us that we are ever evolving, ever growing upward, ever deepening our consciousness and expanding our spirit, so that we can better show up in the world as love in action. So we can show up and model what we believe and recognize that in that there is such infinite grace and blessing. And so we come from a deep place of gratitude for this opportunity, for this willingness, for this being open at the top and all that it brings. We say thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you, spirit. Thank you, community. Thank you, teaching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so with deep gratitude and grace, I lovingly, gratefully, joyfully, exuberantly, and expectantly release this word into law, into that ever-present and loving law that does unto us as we believe. And as I believe in every word spoken here today, I know that it is already done. And so together we say, it is. Thank you, Reverend Rich.
From the dark end of the street to the bright side of the road, we'll be lovers once again on the bright side of the road. Little darling, come with me, yes, and help me share the load. From the dark end of the street to the bright side of the road. Into this life we're born, maybe sometimes we don't know why. Time seems to go by so fast, in the twinkling of an eye. Let's enjoy it while we can. Yes, and help me share the load. We'll be lovers once again on the bright side of the road.
Thank you, Reverend Rich, and thank you everyone for being here. So next week, our speaker will be Chris Ferraro, and with music with Rhonda Dene. I am always available for Treatment Express for anybody who needs treatment. Please join us for social hour. Have a blessed, beautiful day stepping through the doorway of doubt together.